Well, there is certainly no shortage of publicity on the topic of software and architecture. That has tended towards digital design tools for esoteric form making more than anything else, parametricism being the style that perhaps exemplifies this trend most extravagantly. But if we take this school of thought at its word, that it is a way to index and communicate economic, social, and spatial forces and export cities, we would observe today that in fact the most efficacious parametric software is Microsoft Excel, not Rhino. And this changes the plot, I think, as to where and how architects may invest themselves. Instead of not only designing forms, they may also design the systems which give form, design the systems to which those forms give function. So cities are economic platforms, this we know, but the avoidance of tackling this straight on has led perhaps to at least a few pathological conditions. One, in the West, but not exclusively so, we have artificial housing shortages as real estate is used as a battery of financial value. We have condominium-shaped investment vehicles lining the coasts and boulevards in which no one lives. And two, we have urban platforms like Airbnb that exacerbate the problem by turning whatever rental properties are left into parking meters with a roof. DOMA is a project that deals with living inside the platform quite differently, and which focuses directly on the Eastern European context, which has its own unique and decisive reactions to social economies of debt, transparency, and equity. And as you'll see, equity is the key word, both as in equitable and as in what users earn with their time and money. You'll also see what smart contracts actually look like. It's my pleasure to welcome DOMA.
Where I'm from, DOMA is changing the meaning and value of home by enabling people to live where they want and to own their own cities. All around the world, people have been priced out of real estate markets with no prospect of ever owning a home. By rethinking the old binary of home ownership versus rental, DOMA is giving people a flexible and secure method for investing in property, fitting the needs of a new generation of networked people. Smart contracts form the core of DOMA, binding agreements that outline the platform's principles. Slow and steady growth, data processing and optimization, allowing users to gain ownership of their home through rent size payments that diminish over time, while simultaneously enabling the city to adapt to its residents' changing needs. When I grow up, I hope everyone will have the chance to be part of DOMA.
Hello everybody, I'm Enrico Zago from Venice, Italy.
I'm Maxim Rokomanenko from Kiev, Ukraine. I'm an architect.
I'm Melissa Frost from New York. I'm an architect.
And we are here to present you with DOMA. DOMA is a platform of networked home ownership that turns its users into owners of their cities. Instead of dealing with urban issues through directly engaging with heavy, lumpy objects of the city themselves, DOMA is about designing protocols of interaction within the existing city. So in a nutshell, it's a combination of existing residential units within the city with smart contract-based urban software. While ownership is becoming more and more unattainable, DOMA offers equity. At the time when it's less and less clear how the price of housing is being calculated, DOMA is offering transparency. When it seems like we've lost the connection between people's needs and what's going on with development of the cities, we're offering the protocol for smart growth. So let me introduce you with main actors of our platform: users and network. Users pay rent-size payments for the units that they inhabit while gaining increasing equity within the system. Meanwhile, network, acting as a non-profit co-owned by its users corporation, is accumulating existing housing and providing it to people while adopting its feedback mechanism to better tailor housing for residents' needs. In the core of DOMA, there are smart contracts. There are more secure blockchain-based protocols that facilitate and record all the interactions between users and network. For instance, users are paying rent-size payments to the platform. Part of those are going towards maintenance of properties, while the largest part is going towards platform growth, which the platform is using to invest in new properties to provide housing to more users next year. Importantly, as Benjamin pointed out, users are generating equity within the system. And the fact that all the transactions are being recorded on a distributed database make the platform much more transparent. For example, one can anytime check how much has been spent on maintenance over the last month. While the record of all the transactions is being continuously analyzed, creating a feedback loop that serves as a way for the platform to know what to do in future. So that's theory. Where is all of this happening? While DOMA's model is applicable in many different places across the world, it works best when there are certain parameters of residential property prices. This is the chart of Eastern European cities that is organized according to how expensive it is to live in those cities. So you can see here that already Eastern European cities are on the top, especially post-Soviet cities. What is also special about the cities is that they have a low price-to-rent ratio. It means that people, for a small amount of years of renting, could have bought their own place, except mortgage is really expensive. Numbers like 500% of yearly income of people is something quite unprecedented for Western countries. So we decided to focus in 3 cities, which are Kiev, Kazan, and Tbilisi. And again, these are the cities where the rent is expensive, there's a relatively low price-to-rent ratio, and mortgage costs a lot. At the same time, these cities have growing population, which means that demand for housing is growing. And we concentrated on Kiev, performing a little simulation for this city. So we decided to find out how the platform would grow, assuming that we have $2.5 million of initial capital, which for current price rate would be enough to buy apartments for 100 initial users. So with these users living within the platform and paying their dues, we found that we can achieve annual growth of 14%. And I'm going to run through these charts to show you how the model works for a user. So if you're starting to live with DOMA in 2018, you're paying market rate rent. which with time is going down, while equity is being generated to the point where in 30 years, the only thing that user is paying is maintenance. Let's look at the scale of the platform, what's going on here. We start from 100 users, they're paying their dues. We invest all the income back into the platform to buy new real estate. And as you can see, basically by 2050, the platform with the model that we devised could grow to 30,000 users. Well, the end question for us is, of course, why does it matter for users? By rethinking the old binary of home ownership versus rental, DOMA can offer stability of ownership, which is especially important when stability of employment is out of reach for more and more people. You can see that in Eastern European countries, there's increasing amount of precariously employed people, and this number is going up. At the same time, unlike traditional models of home ownership, DOMA can offer its users mobility, so they can move within the system, potentially even between different cities, without losing what they own. Lastly, but maybe most importantly, the platform in its growth relies a lot on data processing. And data privacy is a really important aspect of the platform. So while users' private data is always encrypted, normally it's allowed for the pooled anonymous data to be utilized for networks development, which is basically the key of how DOMA achieves smart growth by, again, like by analyzing all the transactions that are going within the system. So the key point that I would like to make in the end is that DOMA is not devised to become another mega platform that is meant to absorb the whole city. It relies on relatively modest investment of $2.5 million and 100 initial users. And it's there to demonstrate a precedent of scalable and egalitarian city within the city. Thank you.